How the hell are we supposed to get home? We're in the middle of the fucking desert, Billy.
Yeah, that's the least of our worries.
What else did you do?
Come on in. I just called up old Charlie Costello and I told him where we were and to come down and get his dog back and said, if you're in trouble finding us, just look for a Buick umpire.
Well, that's just fucking great! Oh, great! You know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Great.
That's just fucking great!
There's been quite a lot of hate for this film since, I mean, I saw it sort of a few months ago at Toronto and really, really liked it actually, and have been slightly taken aback by all the hate for it. I think there's a lot to like here. I think I agree it's a lot less than the sum of its parts. There's a lot of little good things in it and a lot of little not so good things. But I think sort of as a whole it's quite a good package, and I think Colin Farrell is actually really, really good in it and much better at this kind of pathetic character than as a sort of straightforward leading man. Yeah, I don't know. I think it did sort of throw up interesting questions. I think people are being a bit harsh on it. Maybe it's because In Bruges was such a sort of out of nowhere hit. I'm guessing you were one of the haters.
I wanted to like it, and I quite liked In Bruges, and it struck me as a kind of idiot's adolescent version of Charlie Kaufman's adaptation, which I think played with the same ideas, but with much more profundity, I think.
So I'm the idiot.
You're the idiot in this case. I thought it was played well. I thought that they all did a good job with the material that they were given, particularly Christopher Walken. And I always liked Tom Waits. But it just didn't add up to anything. It was just little kids wanting to be gangsters. Peter, are you in the hate camp?
I'm not a hater. I'm a sort of bemused disliker or disappointer. I sort of looked at this poster image, I thought, wow, I guess these must be the 7 psychopaths. I'm really looking forward to Abby Cornish as a psychopath. She's a brilliant actor. But, oh no, the women are, not only are they sort of kept out of it, but there's a pathetic, self-referential laying off the bit where Christopher Walken's character reads his script and says, I really don't like the way you've treated women here. And that was so feeble.
You can't write women.
That's so feeble. I mean, all right, being brutal and misogynist, fine. Bring it on if you want to be brutal, but don't lay off the bat with this pathetic have your cake and eat it at the end.
It's that sort of nudge and wink that you think it doesn't actually change what the material is.
I'm part of the damaged generation that wrote for the Modern Review in the 1990s. If this came out in the 1990s, we would probably have put it on the cover and thought it was absolutely great. It reminded me, as a not incompetent pastiche of Tarantino and Roger Avary and Shane Black and those people who did this sort of thing. It didn't remind me very much of Charlie Kaufman, actually, more of the Tarantino Avary kind of Pulp Fiction style. And in the first, like all these films, the first 20 minutes where all his ideas, all his gags is absolutely great. But then it loses the plot, basically. It just doesn't become very interesting as a plot. And the final shootout is just sort of boring, really. And I don't say that with any sort of sense of hate, because I'm a big fan of Martin McDonagh. I was not just of In Bruges, but of his stage plays, which are so great and so distinctive. Usually every line of his work is utterly distinctive and brilliant, but this looks like it could have been written by somebody else. And however much I wanted to love it, I've had this lined up as a pre-Christmas treat. I just, after a while, I thought it was just a bit, you know, quite aside from its meaning, I've just found it a little bit boring.
You know what I think the movie should be? The first half should be like a perfect setup for an out-and-out revenge flick. Yeah. Violence, guns, all the usual bullshit, and then, I don't know, man, the lead characters should just walk away. They should just drive off into the desert and pitch a tent somewhere and just talk for the rest of the friggin' movie. No shootouts, no payoffs, just human beings talking.